Over here, huh? Okay, so last month Gabby and I were out here and she spotted something. It was a dark, rainy day. It was really hard to see anything under the trees, but she spotted something, and she was really nervous about it. At one point I stepped on a stick and it startled her so bad she jumped behind my legs to hide. But we came over here to this little edge where it drops off right here, and we looked down into this area and we watched it for a few minutes, and I didn't see or hear anything. But as we turned to leave, it appears that the camera caught something down there getting up and leaving just as we turned. So I've got this little printout here of that screenshot right there. So we've got this lined up perfectly. And let's see, tree. There we go. So we're gonna have everything in the shot the way that it was before. Okay, so we got the bottom of the tree, everything's lined up. We're going to pan like we did that day when we went to leave. And we're going to see if it looks as though something gets up and moves down there, if it was just a trick of the camera. But, you know, I'm not seeing it. Okay, so slightly lower angle. Oh, okay, well, we're going to go down there and take a look around. You know, it's been over a month, so it's pretty unlikely that we'll find any tracks here from that day. But there are a lot of pressed down areas here that really don't have any definition. And pretty sure it was right somewhere in this little cluster of trees where something may have been hiding and stood up and walked away as we were leaving. Somewhere right in here. X right there. X marks the spot. Okay, so Gabby and I are headed back up the top of this little hill here, and we're kind of taking a little side animal trail, and it would appear that we have some footprints here. Not clear, not fresh, but definitely cut down into the dirt. I don't know if you can see it on camera. This would be a heel up here, toe end right there. There's a pretty well-defined heel here, but that's about it. Oh, Gabby just put her foot in the middle of the next one. Thanks, Gabby. Can you move? Gabby, can you move? Come on. Move along. Okay, so we go from this one to that one, which now has a big old dog print in the middle of it. Okay, once again, it's really no definition to it other than it's a big foot-shaped sized hole right here. Okay, so Sandy and I are back out here at the gifting area to restock. The snow is all gone now, and we can see that our pie tins, there was the bottom tray was over there, we found that. We've got our tins are right here, just slightly away from our bucket, which the plastic lid is now down over the knot again, which is interesting because I don't believe it was still up over the knot when I was here the other day, and there was nothing in the bucket when I left. So here's our pie tins. This one here is pretty well mangled, and we've got our lid, which has the dent in it that we've become kind of familiar with seeing. You can see how that looks as though something gripped it and squeezed it right there. And yeah, I'm not seeing any other damage to it, just that dent. So, let's see. Everything else looks just the way that it was. We've got our jars here, the camera, the remains of the gourd. Can see that there now. The rocks are all the same. 2 balls up here and 1 on the ground. So we're going to go ahead and restock, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so we've got everything set up again. Here on the stump we've just left the jars. Reminder, this here we have broken the seal on it, but nothing has opened it. This we have tried and tried and tried and tried to get it open. Can't get it open. We're just going to leave it as it is. We've added an apple and a little bottle of molasses. And up here in the bucket we've got pumpkin pie this time, along with 2 apples, a little package of salmon, and a new jar of peanut butter. So I think we've checked the camera, no new pictures on it. We're going to leave that there with the spoon. We've still got the rocks all here nicely arranged with the bell, which we have already rung. And we're leaving the balls up here. There are 2. There will be 3 when we leave. We're going to take it away from Gabby first. So, yeah, okay. Okay, so when I was out looking for tracks in the snow the other day, I came across some things out here that caught my attention, and I needed to wait for the snow to be gone so that I could come back out and take a better look at it. Well, now the snow is gone, and Sandy's out here with me. What I brought her out here to show her is actually just right up over there. We didn't get that far yet. I will remind you about, let's see, it was right up over this hill. Oh, look at Gabby go. Right up over this hill here, the year before last, there was a tree that was pushed over, and all the lower limbs had been ripped off and piled up underneath the hanging top of the tree. And we kind of speculated on whether that was a nest or an ambush point, what the point of that was. Well, I found something similar to it up here the other day in the snow. And as Sandy and I are coming back up here, we needed to go over there. But we see this other tree is now here blocking the path. And, you know, we haven't really had any wind in the last couple days since I was here. So you can see the root wad right over there. Right here you can see where there are some relatively fresh breaks on the branches here. Okay, now you'll also notice from where that root wad is, when this fell, it had nothing to rub against all the way through here until it comes to this tree right there, where it would have rubbed against that tree as it fell. So you would expect that any of the breaks on the trunk of the tree would be at the point where it hit this tree and things were snapped off, not back there where there was nothing for them to hit against and be broken off. But if you look over here, oh, first, we've got 2 more trees right here side by side that are also down, that are very new. And the ground in here, I don't know if it'll show on camera, but the ground is really packed down in here. Okay, so what I wanted to show you about this tree, here we've got the top of it here, coming up, and once again we've got all these limbs piled up at the top of the tree. Although this one isn't overhanging the ground, things aren't underneath it. All this stuff is on top of it here. All these limbs piled up. One of the things I kind of want to point out here is this old root wad that's covered with moss. I mean, look at how packed down this stuff is, as though something spends a lot of time sitting on this. This isn't nice big fluffy moss, this is pressed down moss. Very packed. So, what did you find out up there?
Well, so those trees that are pushed over, the upper treetop limbs,
Yeah.
they're still intact. There's like one lower that's broken off, like this cluster, you know, just broken. But the rest of the tree is totally intact to the very tip.
Okay.
The branches. So
okay.
This is odd only because
nothing new piled up.
Yeah, piled up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder, is this something that they were maybe using for some kind of a shelter from the weather? Camouflage? Maybe, as I was thinking the last time I found a tree like this, that it was actually intended as a way to hide and ambush the elk.
Gabby's got a stick.
Oh, she does.
Look at her stick.
She's happy. She's a happy dog. Okay, go check out that other tree.
Look at
You got your stick. You gonna bring that? Is that yours? You got it?
Oh,
okay.
Gotta have
That one's
Mom.
hers.
Yeah,
That one's
okay.
hers. Okay, let's go.
Perfect.
Get your stick.
Get it the way you want it.
Come on, let's go. So this here is the original tree that I found the other day that I wanted to bring Sandy up to take a look at after the snow was gone. Now this one here has the overhang where something could conceivably get underneath there for shelter. What caught my attention, we'll go over here to the other side. Oh! Okay, yep. See, we have some small breaks here, and these flat sheltered areas underneath the intact limbs toward the top of the tree. And it really looked under the snow as though things had been piled up under here. And now that I'm back with no snow on the ground, I can see that there definitely is what appears to be a lot of limbs piled up underneath this treetop. Okay, here's where the top of the tree itself was broken out. And let's see. Well, this isn't even the same kind of tree. This here's blue spruce. We got our firs. Yeah, look at all this debris. All this debris piled up. This is what I wanted to get a look at. And you can see there's fresh broken ends. This is quite a little nest underneath this treetop, which is so very similar to that one we found just over the hillside a couple of years ago. And you can see. Okay. Okay.
Oh, look at all this place. So
Yeah.
this is peculiar to me, only because any branches that are broken are on the top.
Yeah, they're not.
Not underneath, not where this would have hit another tree, which it would not have. Those trees
Yeah.
are apart. So
And all these other ones are intact. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, you can see here, here, here,
all the way down
where they're all ripped off.
from this side only.
Yeah, just the top side.
Yeah.
And they're piled up underneath the top of the tree, not back there where they would have rubbed off against the other trees that this might have hit when it was coming down. So this is just like I was kind of expecting to find when the snow was gone. This is so very, very similar to what we found just over the hill 2 years ago. I mean, you can see how much debris is underneath this treetop, which would have made a very good shelter.
Very nice. Comfy. Look at all these green
Yeah.
boughs. Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I'm liking it.
Yeah. So once again, it makes you wonder, was this a nest, something they did for shelter, or is this something they did to hide to ambush elk? Because, you know, it's that season where there's not a whole lot of vegetation to eat right now. And see the top, just like the other one, the top is snapped out right
Yeah.
here.
And these are gone from this.
Yeah. We also have some fresh breaks on this other tree, which I believe this one has been down for some time, but it has got fresh breaks here. So I would imagine some of these are piled up underneath there, because we have a couple of different kinds of tree tops that are in here. Like I said before, we've got the regular firs, and there's that blue spruce that's in there. So there's a variety of different kinds of limbs under here. Pretty cool, huh?
Very cool.
Yeah, another one of them things that makes you go, that's weird. Okay, so yeah, look at, I mean, we literally have handfuls of little debris. I mean, it's just thick in here. Super thick. There's bigger, longer limbs, but there's just gobs and gobs and gobs of this little stuff. I mean, you can't even find the ground under there.
Because you you don't want to lay on. They don't want to lay on a limb when they can lay on something soft.
Yeah.
They're like us when we're camping. Who wants to lay on a rock?
That's right. You know, it's going to wear a hole in you. Oh, watch your head.
Something soft for the tush.
Yes. So to make the old bones not ache so much, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's great.
Yes. Very cool.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Is this the top here? Yep, there we go. Part of the top.
Part of it.
Part of a tree top. Actually, I believe this is the blue spruce. Yes, it is. So
Wow.
here you can see where it's been broken at that end and broken at the other end there. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Cool. Okay, Gabby and I are out here for our little afternoon walk in between showers. And yeah, we're checking out the gifting area. 2 balls up, 1 down. None of this stuff looks disturbed. The camera's down here, and I checked it. There are no new pictures. That's where it was left. The lid to the molasses is here, but I'm not finding the bottle anywhere. And very similar to a lot of the honey bottles, the lid has been taken off completely intact, no chew marks. Although if there's an inner seal, I'm not seeing that. That's something we usually see here. And jam untouched, the jar granola over there, and the bucket along with the pie tins are here on the ground. You can see where the hangers, or the hangers there by one end, and the plastic cover is pushed all the way down onto it. So yeah, something may have tried to climb into this bucket here. The bottom container doesn't appear to be damaged or chewed on anywhere. The bucket is just kind of laid here over this stuff right there on the log. See, there's sticks right there. Just laying right there over those. And we've got the tray sitting in the lid, or the tin in the lid. This doesn't appear to be chewed on at all, just kind of bent. So, and here's the lid. And the lid does have some dents in it right there. But I'm not seeing any chew marks anywhere. Okay, yeah, no sign of the apples or the peanut butter jar. Okay, we are back, and it's been a couple days. Doesn't look like anything has been moved. Nothing's been touched since I was here checking. Got a whole bunch of new stuff here. Gonna set it up, and then I'll show you what I'm leaving. Okay, so we got it all set up again. We've been looking around trying to find the bubble wrap and some missing things. I did find the bottle of molasses, the empty bottle. It was about 150 feet over in that direction. There's not a mark on it anywhere, not a single tooth mark. It's completely emptied out, completely cleaned. The inner seal has been peeled off. The lid to it is still here on the ground, but I have not found the inner seal anywhere yet. No sign of the bubble wrap. And something that I was thinking about the time that we left that bubble wrap, you know, was when we had that bad storm, all that rain, and then it turned to snow. It was kind of miserable out here. So I got to thinking, you know, that bubble wrap for us, you know, its main purpose is padding for packaging, or, you know, humans like to pop the bubbles. That's why I left it out here. But I got to thinking, well, you know, that piece of plastic bubble wrap could also be used as some kind of a shelter from the weather, you know, something to put over your head, over your shoulders, maybe tuck the little ones in under, you know, keep the weather off of them. So, thinking along that line, I believe I'm going to get me a tarp and bring out here. Not a big one, just, you know, a few feet by a few feet, and leave that here and see what happens. So I'll be bringing that out soon. So anyway, here's how I got it set up. All 3 balls back up here, all the rocks in the bell here. Got the camera, checked it, no new pictures, and the spoon there. Still haven't been able to find a fresh gourd. We've got The old jars are still here with the harmonica, and I've added a bottle of honey and an apple. And up here in the bucket, we have a fresh apple pie and a jar of peanut butter and another apple. So we're going to leave this like this, and I'm going to try and get back out here tomorrow and hopefully bring a tarp with me. Got to get one. Not just yet, Gabby. We got to ring the bell first. Okay, we're back at the gifting area. We were just here yesterday and restocked. One of the first things that I see is the one ball is still up here, kind of well centered in the middle of the stump. And the other two balls, right here with Gabby's attention, are side by side here on the ground, which is interesting. So, camera's on the ground, and no pictures were taken. So I'll just wind that up again. Put it back up here on the stump, or the log. The apple I left here and the honey that I left here are both gone. The jar that won't open is here on the ground. The jam looks untouched. And I'm not even seeing the cap for the honey, which is unusual. They usually leave that here along with the little inner seal. And over here, the bucket is empty. The pie container is here on the ground. Still just a little bit of residue of apple pie in the pan. Bit of a dent right there. Almost looks like finger marks, don't it? Right there. Other than that, the tin seems to be perfectly normal. The lid appears to be fine. No chew marks. And the bottom, also fine. Not a mark on it. Okay, so I'll pack these out with me. And yeah, the peanut butter and the apple are both gone. I did bring a few new things out here today that I'm going to put out. I've got a tarp. It's 8 by 10, green on one side, brown on the other, just in case, you know, they were going to use that bubble wrap for some kind of shelter from the breeze or the snow. So I'm just going to put that right there on the stump. I'll leave that jar over there. Actually, you know, I'm just going to take that jar with me. I'll bring out a new one. And I have a little package of salmon that I'm going to go ahead and just leave right there on top of that. And we're going to get out of here, and hopefully tomorrow we can come back and check it all out again. Okay, I've moved that pie tin over here by this log. I've put the tin back inside the plastic container, closed it all up, and I'm just going to leave it there like that. And we'll see what kind of activity the last remains little bits and pieces in there get from any raccoons. And then I'll pack that out with me the next time I bring out a pie. So we're going to leave it like this, and Gabby and I are going to go for a walk. Say bye, Gabby. What are you sniffing? Just laying there sniffing. That ball isn't for you. Come on, we're leaving that here for the Bigfoots. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and leave this ball right there on the ground where it was. And Gabby and I are going to leave them there. See how they are the next time we come back. Alright, let's go. Huh. Don't know what that was.